Greetings and salutations, my friends. It has been a while, but we have returned to the podcast scene, the podcast arena, as some might call it. It is I, Kaiser, the Final Brave, joined with the rest of the Getter team of Akuma Soul.
Oh, was I supposed to say hello? Hello.
In Bacho Gato.
Oh, was I supposed to?
No, you can't. That's the end.
Okay. Okay.
So, we are back. We have had a long April. That was a thing. If you haven't been following the consistent, or at least it was consistent, the consistent upload schedule that we were doing throughout April, which was a video a day, then you missed out on some pretty good content. You missed out on watching us slowly have the life drained from our fucking eyes, because boy howdy, that was a fucking long month.
Yeah, we released a video a day every day. Like, we started off as just like a challenge to see how far we can go, and we managed to last the entire month, which, gotta say, I'm impressed. Good work, everyone.
Yay!
No, fuck you. Well, too late.
I just want to say
you can't accept praise.
It might have been arduous for the niggas who do editing, but for niggas like me with no talent, it's easy money.
We're gonna have to start making this nigga do thumbnails again.
Oh fuck! I hoped y'all wouldn't have noticed, bro.
I mean, it's really only the fact that after I fucking have pounded like 6 fucking energy drinks like all at once, I feel like I have to fucking do something. So that's the only reason I've been doing them, honestly.
Y'all wonder why this nigga so high strung, bro. This nigga
1,000 milligrams of caffeine it won't kill you, will it?
I mean, it might, but it'll bring you right back, so it's okay. Anyway,
this man got them T-Rex eyes, boy. I tell you, bro. This man is like fucking like. I can tell you, like, if Akuma wasn't like a upstanding citizen, you know this nigga would be doing like speed and shit, bro.
Amphetamine.
Nah, that seems like the boring shit. Like, you only ever hear about like people dying on speed if they're like fucking like weak. You want to get on the fucking black tar heroin. That's what you want to get on.
I don't think that's gonna increase your productivity.
Let's just put a disclaimer that we do not endorse any sort of illegal drug activity, or at least I don't.
Well, clearly not.
If the raid happens, it's gonna be on this nigga Akuma or Felix, or it's not gonna be me.
I mean, it would probably be on Felix. Let's be honest. He does have the most like criminal background among all of us.
Just because
y'all are gonna get no knock. I'm at least gonna get a warrant.
Fucking. Does the fucking FBI meme count as a fucking no knock, or is it just like,
Yeah, that's a no knock. They just fucking. Well, I guess it can be considered a knock because they're like FBI open up. They give you a little bit of time to like destroy your hard drive. That's why you should just build a self-destruct. Like when you. Hold on. Let me say I'm not advocating for destroying evidence.
All right. So let's talk more about this April stuff, because we tried for an entire month and we did it. You know, like you said, congratulations. But now it's more like we're going to focus on actually making some serious, like, we're focusing on developing some new content, possibly some new series and stuff like that. You know? Trying to find something that isn't just around that every single person. Why the fuck did I look at my... God. I'm sorry, I got distracted because I look at my phone and I've got a Twitter notification. I'm like, the fuck? Why do I have a Twitter notification? It's literally just some woman bending over with her fucking butt, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Thank you, Twitter, I guess.
I mean, if you weren't like following it, you wouldn't have got.
I'm not following the person.
Well, you following somebody who you know is gonna be retweeting
No, that's
20
not
pounds
something
of
I
ass and
retweeted.
titties.
That's not something I retweeted.
Hey, I didn't
at
say
this
that.
point,
I ain't
Twitter
said a
is
goddamn thing about you, my nigga. Guilty
this
conscience.
Point, no, at this point, Twitter is just like, hey, you like this kind of content, don't you?
Never follow
no, leave me alone.
I'll tell you right now, never follow a fucking cosplayer ever. You're absolutely gonna end up with nothing but fucking recommended fucking butt pics, and when the person likes boobs and fucking everything else, so just don't follow them. Anyway,
cosplayers, e-thought, certain VTubers.
Yes, but back on track. Yeah, we're working on developing some new series. Hopefully, we can actually get one out that is kind of like, we saw that there was a bit of a niche space for this, and I don't want to spoil it, but pretty soon we'll be hopefully seeing this brand new series come out that I think is pretty original, or at least haven't seen anybody really do anything like this one before. It's kind of like a challenge series, sort of, I guess you could say, but it's less. It's almost like the challenge is less on us and more on the developers of the game. And without giving away too much, it's really based on how well the game is made. So hopefully we can get around to making that. And aside from that, we also finished our Resident Evil playthrough. We also got through pretty much the entire season of anime at the time too. Felix is currently still working his way through Persona 5 Strikers, right?
Yeah, but I'm to be honest with you, I'm gonna slow down on the production of that because I want to be like. You can notice like a lot of episodes of that, since it's solo commentary, can be like kind of like dull. What I'm thinking is I should play through first and then go back and then commentate, and I can get you a much better commentary if I know what's coming.
Okay. Well, we're also looking at all of the upcoming games, because this season there are a few games that are out right now. Like the obvious big one is Resident Evil 8, which I think you guys have been going through like separately.
Yeah, I beat it already.
Yeah.
Wow, you've been speedrunning, huh?
Nah, I just beat it in like 3 sessions that were like 4 hours long. So
yeah, I hear it's not a super long game.
It's not a long game, but it's pretty fun, pretty. I'm not gonna say scary because I personally wasn't like, but it's got a lot of tension and a lot of blah blah blah. And there's my pseudo review. That's my pseudo review of Resident Evil.
I'm gonna have to disagree, bro. The second area, that shit was scary, dog.
I don't know much about.
Kaiser.
I don't know much about Resident Evil 8. Like literally, and I'm sure this is just about with anybody who's even slightly aware of the game, only knows about fucking Dimitrescu.
Lady Dimitrescu. You know, at first I was like, man, that's false marketing. They put all this blah 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 behind Dimitrescu. But actually, I think it was really smart marketing, because it means most of the game was like unspoiled by the trailers and stuff, and people get hooked in by her big ass and her goth daughters. But then you have 3 other whole sections. You have 4 other sections really of the game to go through. So I think that was really smart marketing, even if it was completely accidental. Because they weren't aware of how much people wanted to have sex with a giant, tall, big titty, big ass, giant lady.
Yes.
I mean, every once in a while you just get that one piece of marketing that just works out perfectly. Like you can tell that they weren't exactly planning on her being that popular, because like as soon as the character was shown, it's like you saw her fucking trending everywhere, and then the official Twitter accounts were putting out like, did you guys know that Lady Dimitrescu is actually 9'6"? And then people were like, oh my god, you can compare her shoe size to Shaquille O'Neal and shit like that.
She has bigger feet than Shaq.
It's like, you can tell that they clearly weren't prepared for it being at that level. But from my understanding, the game is very well polished. This is the second in this series of Resident Evils, and there's probably going to be another one. just without spoilers, anybody can tell that they're probably going to stick around with what's currently working. But there's also a bunch of people talking about the fact that there's a likelihood that they're going to remake fucking 4.
I mean, they definitely are, and I feel like they were kind of testing the waters with what their 4 remake's going to be with some of the mechanics in this game. Like, obviously, bring back the melee moves. There's so many times, me and Hawk were talking about it, there's so many times where we're playing this game and we shoot an enemy and it, like, reacts, and then you run up to it and you're like, oh, you can't do that shit anymore. The melee system needs to come back. I really feel like, that's not my Resident Evil, that's not my Resident... At this point, there have been more modern Resident Evil games than classic Resident Evil games. Even the remakes, Remake 2 and Remake 3, have been more modern than classic. So I think at this point, you Resident Evil old heads have to give up.
Well, that's kind of the flavor. That's kind of the flavor of, like, most of these games in general. Like, I was trying to think about this the other day, and it actually kind of ties into another thing that we were looking at earlier, being what's happening with the Yakuza series right now. I was thinking, because I'm not big into either the Yakuza series or into Resident Evil. Like, I've played I guess a few Resident Evils, but I only played one to completion, and I've never played any of the Yakuza games. But I was wondering how I would feel if, like, say, the Tales of games just started doing turn-based RPG, but that was just, like, infinitely more popular with the fan base at that point. Like, how would I react as a fan of the series to this huge change that seems to be very popular with people, but just kind of is not what I'm looking for?
You should feel betrayed.
Hasn't that happened a couple times with Tales? Like, not necessarily to you, but just imagine, like, it goes from 2D to being 3D, right? And then more recently, it goes from the traditional Tales gameplay to being more, like, focused on using your mystic arts as, like, normal moves and all this other stuff, right? And the free targeting, free moving, they're not as radical. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say that the Yakuza 7 change is not that big of a difference. It's not a beat 'em up anymore, but the actual combat of Yakuza is, like, only 40% of why you play those games.
This nigga really said only 40%, bro.
Yeah.
Let me take 40% of your income away, nigga.
It's not taking my income away. It's like giving me euros instead of dollars.
Yeah, useless, bro. I don't play Yakuza to do some fucking Final Fantasy shit, my nigga. I'm out here trying to bust niggas'
you
heads
don't.
open.
That's not even what it is. It's like, it's closer to Persona than it is to Final Fantasy, and that makes sense because they're both Sega games.
I think that shit's corny, bro.
It's not.
It's
corny.
an entire
how
genre
is it
shift.
How is it?
Well,
how is
that's the thing.
I like playing a beat 'em up for, like, 7 games. Well, let's see. For, like, 9 games, right? If you count some of the spinoffs, right?
Okay.
And it's fun. I like the combat. I like the changes that they make. I liked the Kiwamis 1 and 2. I like the styles. I like Fist of the North Star Yakuza game. That was fun. I don't want to play a turn-based RPG.
You, of all people, you've given me, or you've told us how you get burned out by playing the games back to back because they're too similar. So
because they're long, bro.
Because they're too similar. I think them reinventing the wheel and it working out for them is a good thing. And it's not like they're completely abandoning the beat 'em up RPG, action RPG style, because the Judgment series is classic beat 'em up RPG style.
Well, why wouldn't you just make the Judgment series the turn-based RPG, since it's a fucking spinoff, instead of making the main story game be another genre that is completely different from the games?
Because we were just talking about Resident Evil. Why wouldn't Resident Evil just have fucking fixed camera angles, tank controls for fucking 7 games?
Yeah, because that kind of sucks.
Why did they... okay, man. I'm just saying, no, it doesn't suck. There's people who like it. There's people who like 4, 5, and 6, and there's people who like 7 and 8.
Well, I feel like you should feel betrayed if your entire genre shifts.
Bro,
entire gameplay genre shifts in a mainline game. I think you should feel betrayed. You should feel
it's bad. It's a mainline game. It originally wasn't going to be. You know that, right? Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon was not going to be titled Yakuza 7. They just made it Yakuza 7 because it would be better marketing, and they don't want to, like, it's not necessarily a spin-off like Judgment. Judgment is a spin-off because it's different gameplay, right? You got all this detective bullshit and investigation bullshit in addition to the beat 'em up gameplay. Yakuza 7, yeah, the main combat is, you got a party now, and it's like in real time, turn based, right? But everything else that makes Yakuza is there. You still got all the mini games, the side quests, the story, the characters. That is a big part of Yakuza. I'm really not feeling this whole betrayed thing. If the spirit of the game is still the same, it's just the gameplay that changes. I don't see that any different than any other long running series. Like, you look at every Street Fighter. Every Street Fighter has
a fighting game.
System mechanics. Yeah,
it's still a fighting game though. Like,
nigga, Yakuza is still an RPG.
But the combat, you have to go through the combat to get to the rest of the shit, right? You gotta go through the combat to go to the mini games to progress through the story. I don't want to sit through the fucking RPG shit, dude.
You don't even play
it. And I will not play it. I will not buy that game. I'm not going to buy that game.
Because you're making assumptions about what
it's
like.
But hang on, I have a question. Then will you buy the next Judgment game?
Yeah, I bought the first one.
Okay.
I mean, unless they just do something like in the middle of the game that it just goes to shit and is garbage and like Kiryu shows up and like he just dies or something like.
I mean, did you play did you beat the original Judgment?
No, I haven't finished it yet.
Why?
Because I've been playing other shit. I got a lot of games. I've been working. I got shit to do. I'll finish it eventually.
Other games, other new games that came out, you played them.
I will finish it eventually.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying you played, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. You played Black Ops. You're playing Resident Evil. Is it not possible that even though your mind is telling you that you want more of the same kind of gameplay, your soul is telling you that it actually does wear down to play the same type of game over and over and over?
No, because with any sort of game that I buy, right? Unless it's like even Resident Evil, I probably won't even finish Resident Evil 8 until like July or some shit. I got other things to do. It's like, first of all, video games aren't my only fucking hobby, bro. I got other things I like doing. Okay,
I know that.
This is aside from the things that I have to do. I gotta go to work. I gotta take care of things at home. You know what I'm saying? So long games like Yakuza, it will take me a long time to beat. Long games like, Resident Evil's not really long, but I'm not gonna just sit down and play a video game for 8 hours a day like when I was younger. I'll play it for like an hour or two and then go do something else because I don't have time to play games all day long. When was the last time you beat a Yakuza game?
I beat a Yakuza. The last time I played a Yakuza game was Kiwami 1. And that I didn't beat it all in one sitting. I beat it in like about, what was it, like 40, 50 hours over a course of like 2 or 3 months. But and that was when I was working fucking night shifts, bro. Like 12-hour night shifts. Like, I really don't understand. You say you got other hobbies. I got other hobbies. Everybody has hobbies. It's just, if you feel like playing the game, you'll play it. And I've been there. If you feel like playing it, you'll play it. If you don't feel like playing it, you won't play it. And that's fine, right? But I don't buy into the excuse of, I got other shit to do. Yeah, we all got other shit to do. You want variety in your life, naturally.
If by some stroke of luck or what have it that I would have bought Yakuza 7, I guarantee you I would not have been playing that game. It would be sitting there just like Judgment is. I guarantee you.
So I don't really know what your point is.
My point is that Yakuza games are very long and they're very engaging, and when you play them, you gotta sit there and be enthralled in the universe and the story, right? I have to be in the mood to sit down, clear everything out, make sure I'm not gonna get interrupted during a fucking 8-minute long cutscene.
Yeah.
And enjoy the game. I have not made time to play through more of Judgment.
I know exactly what you're saying, right? And I understand that. But what I'm saying is that has literally nothing to do with the type of gameplay it is.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It has to do with the length of the game. It has to do with the length of the cutscenes. It has to do with wanting to get immersed. But it has nothing to do with the type of gameplay.
It will, because I'm not gonna have fun playing a.
You literally don't know that. You literally have no. And maybe if game demo, they still had game demos. Like we shed on the Resident Evil demo, but at least it gave people opportunity to play. Maybe Yakuza 7 needed it.
This is the thing, Felix. I don't play games like Persona and Super Robot Wars and shit Super Robot Wars is different, right? Persona, okay. Final Fantasy and shit, right? I don't play those games for the riveting combat. I tolerate it. I tolerate the combat of Persona. I tolerate the combat of something like a classic Final Fantasy game, bro. It's not something I'm sitting there like, yeah, I want to get better at this gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get better at beat 'em ups. My favorite beat 'em ups of all time, God Hand, Beautiful Joe. I wanted to get better and keep playing them. Devil May Cry. I want to play those games. The combat is what brings me there, and it's fun. Yakuza has the benefit of having all this side shit to do, right? But at the end of the day, you still want to go and crack some heads. And I don't feel like a turn-based RPG is what I want to tolerate to get to the rest of the shit.
Well, then that just sounds to me like you're putting more insistence upon the name Yakuza. Because if they're carrying over the gameplay, considering the fact that it's going to be the same team, to Judgment, then you technically lose nothing.
I lose the beat 'em up part.
Yeah, but they're bosses. Yeah, but they're carrying it over to Judgment. The
boss fights and.
So it's still the gameplay still exists. It's not like it's gone. It's just being carried over to another place, which at that point would, at least in my head, mean that you're more worried about the insistence on the name Yakuza than anything.
Well, obviously, there's a set of characters and themes, even though it's in the same universe. There's a set of characters and they had this problem with Yakuza 4, right, where we had 4 protagonists, and Kiryu, obviously the main character, the main guy, has been the main guy since the first game. He's always gonna be cool, right? But they had cool characters like Akiyama. He was the only other cool character because Saejima and the police dude kind of suck. But I'm getting off topic. You grow to understand this world and how the world building is, and you have all of the different clans and shit, and you can make a game that's about a different Yakuza guy. Other than, you don't have to bring back Kiryu every game, right? But I like being in seeing that sort of world, because how many detective games you got out there? You got a million detective games out there, but how many games are you a dude who was in there with the fucking Japanese mafia shit? You know what I'm saying? That shit's fun. It's a setting that you don't see very often, especially not as a protagonist. Right?
Yeah, but you said it yourself. This is the 9th game, right?
Well, the 9th game in the Yakuza gameplay style, right? So even though Fist of the North Star is not a Yakuza, it's not a Yakuza game, but the gameplay is based off of Yakuza.
But you
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but wouldn't you say maybe it's about time to move on from Kiryu? Like, is there
Yeah, and they
like
did.
That's
how much more
that's what I
story
said.
can they
You
tell?
don't. I'm not saying that you have to bring back Kiryu. There are other characters who are immersed in that world that you can follow, or you can make new characters for.
The world itself, the setting of Kakabuchiro is a character, right? And it's a character that comes back in every Yakuza game and every spin-off, including Judgment. The Yakuza dev team add in elements that make Yakuza feel like Yakuza. You know, whether it's karaoke, whether it's the side quests, the fucking eccentric characters, the goofy fucking writing, the serious writing, the cutscene style, all this shit. Like, that's what makes a Yakuza game. Like, we could just argue about this for literal fucking hours, but I'll cut it short, right? Yakuza's producers, they were happy that 7 was so successful, and in the future, future Yakuza games are probably going to be more like 7 than the previous games, unless they stop selling, in which case you can expect going back to bases, and that's the same as any other series.
I mean, the
it's not a bad thing.
My assumption around the fact that Yakuza 7 even sold so well is because of the marketing for it, the fact that they actually had some money behind it, that Yakuza has been doing better in like the last 3 releases that they've had in like decades. Like, look, what was the one before it? Was it 6?
It all started with 0. That was where the Americans,
the Kiwami series in 6, and then Judgment, and now 7, and Yakuza's doing better than it ever has before, and people love it.
Straight up, what's also helping is the fact that, and it's gonna probably get on your nerves, is the fact that I can't put bigger air quotes around this, but the influencers have been helping a lot with 7's popularity.
Yeah, influencers, streamers, VTubers, normal YouTubers. Yeah, they've all been keen on Yakuza. And that's a good thing, because they've also been going back and playing the original series, and they like the original series. They like Judgment. They like 7. It's a good thing if you're a Yakuza fan, I feel.
Well, there's also the fact...
It's a bad thing if you are a Yakuza fan who wanted to play a beat 'em up. You've been
That's
betrayed.
What Judgment is for.
You
That's
have
what
been
Akuma's been telling
forsaken
you.
and tormented.
Oh my god, you're such a drama queen.
Well, since you
You're
also
just a
mentioned...
fucking traitor. Well, you don't even like Yakuza, bro. Shut up. Stop simping for games that you don't even buy or play, bro.
About?
Shut up.
Nigga, you can look at my trophies list.
Anyway, you also mentioned Judgment accidentally revealing the new Judgment. That's also coming out soon. So obviously, like we said,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like we were saying, more likely they're going to, since they're going to just keep going with the Judgment franchise as well. The gameplay will continue in there. But there's also been a lot of other BS happening in the games industry. Mostly PlayStation. Anybody have any idea how many fucking things PlayStation has been happening with PlayStation? I'll get you started. For some reason, I completely forgot about this until just now. You guys gotta remember how in love Sony is right now with big budget, AAA, super mega blockbusters. So much so that they are literally remaking the fucking Last of Us.
Yeah, and they want to make a Last of Us Netflix series.
That's not that. I already know that they've been trying to do that for a while, but the fact that they're even remaking The Last of Us, like, the game's on the PS4. It has a remastered version. Like, why remake it on the PS5? Maybe I'm crazy, but I always see, like, if you're gonna do a remake of a game, it should be at the point where, like, the game is just about impossible to track down, like, a copy of. And, like, at no point can anyone say, like, they can't track down a copy of The Last of Us. Heck, you should probably be able to track down a PS3 version of The Last of Us if you really wanted to.
I think there's two main reasons. One is there's a lot of people who want to get into Last of Us, but it is actually kind of hard to get a copy because it's not like they're printing new copies of Last of Us Remastered, right? And
Well, yeah, but it's
since
also
The Last
still
of Us
on.
2,
I would assume it's still on the PlayStation Store.
They also gave away Last of Us for free on the PS4 for PlayStation Plus.
yeah, but you got to remember they never repeat PlayStation Plus giveaways.
Yeah, but I would assume.
And when
that
was that?
most
That was
Sony
like
fans would
that
have
was
got it.
like last year. No, that was like 2019, wasn't it?
I do not remember. I know what you're talking about. It's just I do not actually remember when that was. But I assume that, like, in their head, they're just like, we're going to completely remake it from the ground up. And that just seems weird to me, because it's not like The Last of Us, even the HD remaster or whatever it's called. It's not like it looks bad. It still looks fucking really good. Like, the game, that's one of the game's strongest selling points.
Oh, and another thing is that those games are incomplete. That version of the game is incomplete because they, for one reason or another, they couldn't get the multiplayer. So I'm thinking maybe they want to... And also there was multiplayer planned for Last of Us Part 2 as well, but they scrapped it. So I'm thinking they're going to remaster or remake The Last of Us 1, shove in multiplayer, shove in microtransactions. And they're really what it is they're trying to get the most out of the engine they built for Part 2 as possible. Probably because Naughty Dog might not be doing too hot, with all their fucking developers they fucking lost.
No, Naughty Dog is doing just fine in terms of money. Like, let's not think that at any point they may be bleeding talent. Like, talent may be trying to climb out the fucking windows because Druckmann's too busy smelling his own farts or whatever. But, like, they're not losing any money. Like, I can't see that. I don't know.
You gotta measure their sales against their initial fucking overpriced budget.
Yeah, and
especially with all the shit they scrapped.
Yeah, but again, I'm also sure that, like, the amount of money that, like, Naughty Dog brings in, especially considering the fact that they're Sony first party. Yeah? They're Sony first party dev team, so, like, I can't see that at any point that they will have to worry for money.
They're not gonna worry for money, but it's just like, in my head, I can see Sony, especially, being like, we need to get more money from you, so find a way to because, like, let's be honest, single player games do not get that much money, and they don't have that much replay value, so you can't, like, take up somebody's, like, mental space like you can with, like, a Call of Duty, right? Because Call of Duty physically takes up a lot of space in your fucking hard drive, and it also takes up a lot of space in, like, your daily gaming consumption, because it's like, oh, I gotta do the battle pass, oh, there's a new deal on the store, let me spend money, let me do this, let me play with my friends, let me encourage my friends to buy it.
Well, that's exactly why, since you brought that up, Ubisoft is moving the way that they are too. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Ubisoft actually is currently playing with the idea of pivoting their major roles to focusing on free-to-play games.
Yeah.
Man, this shit is dark, bro.
Like, and when I say, like, their major franchises and stuff, that includes, like, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, what was that other one? Not Ghost Recon. Is it Ghost Recon?
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six. Yeah.
Siege and all that.
Like, they are currently pivoting their idea of heading over to free-to-play games. Of course, they're saying, naturally, they're like, oh, we're not just going to move away from AAA games, but as you can assume with Ubisoft, always assume the worst with Ubisoft. Like,
I would like to remind everybody that they still have not made an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan. Even though that's what the fan base has wanted for 15 years.
Look at their competition. Look at the stealth games that they have to compete with, right?
What, you mean like Neo and Ghost of Tsushima and
I'm talking about like just of all time, bro. Like, you really think they're gonna be able to, especially like modern Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed is not a stealth game anymore. It hasn't been since 3.
Well, as I was saying, modern Assassin's Creed is kind of garbage, dude. It's kind of
Modern
trash.
Assassin's Creed kind of sells better than old Assassin's Creed.
Well, modern gamers are fucking retards, dude.
Well, modern games in general sell better now than they ever have. No, but guys, we have to boost up the price because, you know, games cost more to make. What do you mean we make 3 times as much now than we did a couple of years ago? Listen, games cost more to make. I hate that. I really hate that fucking argument. I really do.
It's Black Flag selling as well as it did because, oh man, I get to be a pirate. Whoa, I got my ship and I got my mateys and we're gonna shuffle off the seashore.
The fuck are you talking about?
Assassin's Creed 4 is what really pushed this. And like, also, what really pisses me off about Assassin's Creed is that it kind of reminds me of like the Pokemon Company's problem with returning features. Is like they arbitrarily decide what to bring back. Because like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, you had good multiplayer. Assassin's Creed Unity, you had co-op. Not good, but you had co-op. So why not make an Assassin's Creed game that has these features that everybody loves, as well as having the freaking big bloated climb a tower and mark your shit on the map single player gameplay, and then you could just satisfy everybody.
Well, that's the thing with Assassin's Creed games that somebody has been talking to me about, is the fact that they rarely complete Assassin's Creed games right now because everything that they have in those games as of now is just this fucking like, you spend so much time just doing the same things over and over again.
That's all of Ubisoft's games except for Siege, right? It's that Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, they're all like, oh, climb the city, collect this, climb that, get this tower, do that, upgrade your stealth tree, upgrade your skills. It's just like, yeah, it just keeps you fucking busy. And then a new game comes out before you're fucking done with the last one.
Well, that's honestly my, like, what I hate about open world games in general. Like, I can play, like, an open world game maybe, like, once every couple of years, like, seriously get into it. But, like, most games, when I see that they're open world, my brain immediately goes to, oh god, it's going to be Assassin's Creed. I have to climb 1,000,000 towers and scout out 1,000,000 areas and use my hawk and collect little tiny things around the map, and I hate that shit at this point.
Would you rather have that, or would you rather have everybody fucking aping off Breath of the Wild? Oh, you got a crafting system. Oh, you got to get your health. Everything has durability. Well, oh, you got to collect this.
Well, that's the thing. I actually prefer when I'm playing a game for them to be pretty linear. I've realized this. Like, everybody always talks about, like, oh, I want to be able to make my character and make all of the choices. That's what a real RPG is about. And it's like, I don't like that. I'd rather just, you know, sit down and have a story told to me, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to make the story myself. If I'm going to make the story myself, I'm going to make the entire story myself, and I'm going to write a book. Like, I don't want to run around and do all this, like, whatever. Like, if I'm doing a character creator, most of the time I'd rather it be in a fighting game. Like, and...
Well, you know what you got to do now, Akuma?
What?
Is that you need to write a webcomic with a crafting system.
Oh my god. My brain's trying to make sense of that. Fuck. Anyway, let's talk about the more shit that Sony has decided to do. Since it doesn't look like we're going to be getting PS5s this year still, there's a heads up for everybody. Apparently they think that not until 2022 that we're going to start seeing a proper amount of people getting PS5s. Now, I saw a video earlier today that actually stated that roughly, I think it was 780,000 PS5s are in the hands of scalpers.
Can we just have like a store policy where we just execute somebody trying to buy more than one PlayStation 5?
We should do that, and that with fucking Pokemon cards too, apparently.
Pokemon cards? Oh my god. I hate
Can somebody
Twitch
explain
streamers.
the Pokemon meme to me?
Yes,
Because like,
yes,
I woke up
last
this
year-
morning and just saw like people
Here-
freaking out because Target
here's
just said
what
"fuck
happened.
off, Pokemon. We're not stocking that shit no more."
And Akuma could probably explain this better than me, so I'll just give you like the basic. Last year, during lockdown, super rich streamers and YouTubers bought a bunch of fucking Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then they did card pullings, and then they would freak out when they got the super rare card, and that fucking influenced their fans to do the same shit. And so you just had people buying out Walmart's, Target's, GameStop's card stores, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to get this. I want to get that. Give me all those boxes. I'm gonna open up all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then I'm gonna make a cool fucking reaction on YouTube when I pull my Starlight Rare Pidgeotto." And actually, it's not just Pokemon. Like, all Targets have mentioned that they're not going to be selling Pokemon cards anymore because, like, shitty people were harassing the store employees, and like they were fucking. There was even one case, I believe, and this is allegedly. This could just be bullshit. But there was one case where somebody followed a fucking Target truck. So, and then they waited until they unloaded, and then they tried to harass the truck driver to purchase the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh boxes.
I actually heard that exact same thing.
Jesus Christ.
So
Man, that's foul, man. That. First
It really
of all,
is, bro.
who would start buying like boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the first place, right?
Yeah, man. Who
Especially
would
if you
buy
don't play
boxes
Yu-Gi-Oh.
of Yu-Gi-Oh cards just to collect them? That
Just
would
to,
be like
just
silly.
to collect them and like not even like play them. That's weird, dude.
yeah, haha.
Second of all, man, I feel like it got out of control because like the real Target employees who didn't take no shit didn't just tell them like fuck off. If y'all want to fucking try to bum rush the fucking truck, we just gonna beat the shit out of you and leave you on the curb or something, dude.
You've worked in retail, right? You can't do that.
Huh? Psh, man, that shit wouldn't work when I was at Walmart, boy. I'm telling you, dog.
Be like, can you? I'll give you $2,000. Just give me the box. Just fucking slam dunk their head into the side of the truck.
But yeah, this has actually
Just
been
start
happening.
chucking pallets.
This has actually been happening not just with Pokemon, but apparently MLB cards and a little bit with Yu-Gi-Oh too. There were videos.
I think you.
What's up?
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I think Yu-Gi-Oh cards are actually like there's a shortage because of the fucking.
Well, yeah, because of the
scalpers.
Well, that and it's not the scalpers; it's the fucking people buying them. Because the thing is, when it comes to these retail stores, they buy them directly from like providers and stuff like that. And people, specifically with trading cards, have figured out how to contact and buy these fucking huge swaths of Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and baseball cards so that they can get a hold of them before they reach the providers. So they are buying them first from before even like Target and them can get a hold of them. So that's why you come to a Target sometimes, such as like in videos where people go to buy them at Targets, and you just see empty shelves now because the like Targets and stuff can't get them. They can't even find them. It's getting to the point that it's actually going to be very difficult for people to obtain Yu-Gi-Oh cards if you don't buy them online.
Man, I'm glad I'm not a kid now, dog.
Well,
that's like the no magic ending, dude. That's just like the fucking, well, I'm gonna go to the store and see what kind of toys and cars they have, and it's just all fucking gone. You just gotta go like on Amazon and buy that shit. Man, that's cursed.
There's like a handful of people you can directly blame for this, and I'm not gonna.
I mean, you could say.
You
could say. We all know who you can fucking blame.
I know who you think. There's this one guy, this one moist guy. But I'm actually gonna blame Logan Paul more because he's the one making stupid fucking videos of I spent $100,000 on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's just like, no, he was the one doing the Pokemon cards.
Yeah, so he did.
He's more directly to blame for this situation.
Well, it's also the fact
I disagree, bro. Let me tell you why. First of all, if you a grown ass man who's out here like giving employees a hard time over children's card games, bro.
I mean, you probably should.
You a genetic dad, man.
You should probably reevaluate
your bloodline is gonna end here, dude. If you a kid, okay, your parents failed you. Your parents did not teach you how to act in public.
If you have a viewer base that's like primarily 12 to 15-year-old kids or whatever, and you're trying to, give this false idea that you can pull a fucking super rare mega ghost card out of every pack you pull because you're faking that shit, then you are, like, I really feel like you are partially to blame. I'm not going to put it entirely on you. Yeah, some fault is on, Konami and the Pokemon Company and whatever else for, like, intentionally, what's the term?
Controlling the scarcity? What?
Yeah, artificial scarcity. Yeah, they're to blame too, but I really feel like you shouldn't be selling this false picture. Like, if you have, there's some people, what they used to do back in the day, like, way back in the day when these card games started, is they used to get out scales and they used to weigh each pack, and heavier packs usually had more valuable cards because, they had like aluminum foil or whatever on them. Yeah. So what they would do is they would get the weighted packs of cards, and then they would just open them back to back, and they were like, "Whoa, my luck is so good!" Not telling you that they're like sons of billionaires or something, and they can fucking blow $10,000 on fucking cards just for clout, essentially, for views, whatever.
Well, but like, even if you say like they're part of the problem, it's like a 10% thing, dude. If your parents fuck up along the way, and they at the bare minimum teach you to have respect for the places that you go. When I was a kid, I would not have been out here harassing fucking employees for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my nigga. I would have went in respectful.
They don't know what they're doing is harassment necessarily. It depends. It's a case by case basis. But if you're just trying, it's like when you're working in retail, right? And the fucking nice old lady comes to you and like, can you check in the back if you have these? Like, no, bitch, you can't check in the back. I can't check you out something from the back. But you can't say that to them. And I feel like with kids, they're not as wise, they're not as smart as adults. So if a kid is trying to be like, hey, every time I try to buy these cards, they're not here, so can you please, I don't know.
I would like to assume that, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, I'd like to assume that this isn't actually an instance of somebody, like, some fucking grease monster running up on some fucking poor Target employee and gripping them up like, I need my fucking shiny Dragoon! I want to assume that this is maybe one person maybe acted out a little erratically, maybe a person had a little bit of a mental deficiency, and it was blown incredibly out of proportion, because you gotta remember that this is also still Target, and we can't just be like, Target is much better than fucking Walmart, and they wouldn't be like, well, we're gonna take down all the advertisements for Yu-Gi-Oh because somebody attacked somebody in the street with Yu-Gi-Oh cards in their pocket. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that was actually them possibly overreacting.
It is what it is.
But man, yeah, and we started off talking about fucking Sony here.
Yeah. There's one more Sony piece of news, and I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's gonna be a fucking nightmare. Maybe it's gonna be a mix of both. Sony is partnering with Discord. I think they bought in like 15% of the company, and now you're gonna be able to talk to all your Discord contacts on PSN and vice versa. You can talk to all your PlayStation friends with Discord, so you can enjoy playing the game and having random disconnects and updates that interrupt the flow of your
You're
conversation.
gonna have the Discord mods and
The fucking
PlayStation
pedophile
Network.
Discord mods.
Like, here's my thing with that. Like, everyone's trying to get their hands in Discord now. Microsoft tried it. Sony's trying it. Like, I really don't understand why they don't understand. I don't understand why they don't understand. I don't get it. What's going through their head? Like, the reason that everybody is down for using Discord at this point is the fact that nobody really wants to sit around and do fucking game chat and stuff like that as much as they used to.
Yeah,
Which that shit is just sad, man.
Everybody's
I would
just
trade
on their
Discord.
computer anyways. Or
I
they're
would
on their phone
trade that
anyways.
shit instantly. I would trade Discord, Skype, all of that bullshit for niggas talking shit in game chat, bro. I live for that shit. It's fun.
I mean, they still talk shit. Like, if you go on Black Ops right now and go on public mic, there's still gonna people. As soon as you fucking breathe, oh, you breathed in a liar. You got big nose, nigga. Like,
It's not the same. Like, back
It
in the
is the
day,
same,
nah,
man.
it's not the same. Cause like, you will know people are talking shit, but they in a party chat. Like, you can tell when it's like a clan of niggas, you know what I'm saying? They got like fucking 6ix9ine clan or some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? You know they be talking shit, but
it's
they
the
all on,
same,
they all in fucking private chats, man. It's not the same. It's and also niggas will just report you now. Like, if you start getting a little bit too toxic, they'll fucking just snitch on you and get you like a fucking 10-day ban, bro. Fuck this shit, man. And like, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of snitching with Discord on PSN, bro.
Of course not, bro. There's gonna be less snitching, because nobody wants to compromise their fucking Discord account.
Yeah.
You know, because we know people who, you know, are in some fucking foul Discords, and they're like,
You know, you just reminded
Right?
me. Like, I completely forgot about Sony cracking down on what's the word? Toxicity. The way that they were for a while. Remember how they were like, oh well, if somebody has their fucking recording stuff on in their PSN, then you can have them like banned for saying stuff in actual chats and whatnot.
Yeah, that shit's fucked. That's
I wonder if that's going to get integrated in the Discord at any level.
I mean, if it does, it is what it is. I'll just stop using it because I know I'll be saying some foul shit.
I would just assume.
I
I
mean-
would assume that it's not going to happen unless you're in, like, a group where somebody would have to report you. I'm hoping it never gets to the point where fucking Discord has an AI that automatically picks up like the words "fuck" or something, and then it's just
that's what Skype does. Skype transcribes all your fucking conversations. Remember that time?
Yeah,
where
I think that's
found
why
that out?
that's why we stopped using it, right?
Yes.
yeah, like
So
they can
I would
actually
rather-
like it can actually pick up what you're saying, even when you speak like different languages, which was fucking really crazy. Like, it was transcribing fucking Japanese and stuff, and it was like, how is that possible? It was fucking romanizing it
Leave
too.
us alone, bro. If I want to be in a chat with my niggas talking about some bullshit, you know, saying some naughty gamer words, bro, let me do what I'm doing. I ain't bothering
you
nobody.
better learn
nigga.
how to use VoIP.
Huh?
Exactly.
Let's get ready.
Am I gonna have to start like making up like new gamer words? Like, oh, you little scrimmy bingus.
Can't wait to see Scrimmy Bingus on the fucking list of gamer words you're not allowed to say on the internet or on television.
Yo, shout outs to my nigga Colossus, bro. Rest in peace.
All right.
That nigga got killed in the fucking PS5 riots.
I mean, you remember that they were over in Europe? They were fucking, like, driving cars up behind fucking tractor trailers that were carrying PS5s and hopping onto that shit and stealing them, right?
Yeah, bro. They wild out there.
That's fucking crazy.
PS5 still don't got no games. Don't buy a PS5. This is coming from me, Kaiser. Do not buy a PS5, bro. Don't risk your life for mediocre hardware, bro.
But bro, Returnal.
Well, if you want Returnal, bro. If you want to actually continue the fucking Final Fantasy VII remake, you're forced to get a PS5, even though you can't.
You know what I'm happy about, though? The fact that even though Tales of Arise is coming out on PS5, I can still play this shit on my PS4, and it's probably not going to play hardly any different.
Hold on, did you say Tales of Arise was coming out?
Yes, it's actually coming out, Felix. We know.
Why would you lie to me?
Reported for misinformation.
No. They finally showed some more gameplay for it, and I'm very happy, even though there's one thing that I didn't even realize that somebody pointed out, is the fact that with this Tales of game, that this one has completely removed the multiplayer. Which...
Well, it's not like
they
would ever, you know.
It's probably a feature that they've done the data on, and they noticed like less and less people are doing it because less and less people, you know, actually have somebody sitting next to them who they can play with.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just kind of sad in my head. It's just like, I'm sad to see that go. I understand. Like, I have to assume that at one point they had to be like, you know, we can probably cut off like 4 or 5 months of development by not working on the multiplayer. And they were just like, look, only 1/10 of our audience actually plays the multiplayer.
Well, I guarantee you it would have been more if they would have, you know, just made it so you could do it online, but...
Yeah, but that would have ruined the experience.
But some people are against that.
See?
I don't understand.
I stand by it.
I don't understand.
I'll always stand for it.
I'm not saying
this is why I don't trust
you play
fans.
alongside somebody, like you gotta match their progress in the game. I'm just saying that if they're like watching you play and you're like, hey man, you want to share play? Hold on, I'm describing fucking Stadia right now.
Stadia! I can't wait for we already discussed that the Stadia idea is something that's kind of cool, even though it's completely nonsensical and impossible to properly implement. But I am sad to see this go in the Tales of franchise. I doubt it'll be gone forever. There'll probably be another one eventually that has the multiplayer back in. But as far as Arise goes, I'm liking everything I've seen of it so far. The only problem I really have is possibly the fact that the characters in it feel a little... design-wise, like aside from the main two, aside from Alphen and I forget the girl's name, they feel kind of underwhelming. Like there's the one girl who's a part of the party, the mage with the hoodie, and she just looks like a uninteresting Fire Emblem character, to be honest. And then there's the guy who literally looks just like a White Clawed. So I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about these guys. They kind of look uninteresting.
Well, we still haven't seen the whole party, so maybe the full the full party will bring the aesthetics home.
At least the designs aren't as like fucking goofy and bad unequivocally as Zestiria. Maybe that's a hot take for me.
No, you're not the only one who felt that way. Zestiria's character designs were very what's the word I'm looking for? Divisive?
Goofy? Esoteric?
No, they were like divisive. Soray's design, the fucking giant poncho, and then Alicia's design where she was like a knight but only had on her fucking glaives. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? The characters' names, by the way, I had to look into. It's Rinwell, that's the girl, and Law, who is the guy, and the other girl who's the main heroine of the story is Shion. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they kind of look uninteresting. It's just, as opposed to like, you know, Symphonia or Abyss or Vesperia or even Graces or Zillia, like, they don't stand out. And people always are like, oh, well, all Tales characters just look like anime characters, and it's like, it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's like...
Bro, you notice how Vesperia fans like to just throw that subtle shade, bro?
What?
This nigga said even Graces and Zillia, bro. Y'all niggas make me sick.
That wasn't even an attempt at slight.
If you like Vesperia over, like, the best Tales games like Zillia 1 and 2, you gotta go, bro. You out here set tripping, you know what I'm saying? You like these big-headed fucking ugly-ass characters with this corny-ass gameplay. Sit down.
All I'm saying is that everybody was begging for one to be over here for the longest time.
They were begging for Zillia to come over, and it delivered. Got brought over before Poopsperia.
I mean, the only reason Zillia was brought over was because of the popularity of Graces.
Because it was godlike.
Well, no, it's because Graces
they knew
so
talent
well
when they saw it.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Maybe when that comes out, we'll end up checking it out on the channel, and I can just fucking gush over the entirety of the Tales franchise there.
Wow, maybe we can play some online co-op on it, yeah?
No.
Jeez.
Let's wrap this up with the obvious most important thing that's been happening in entertainment right now. I don't care what anybody says. The current thing that's happening in television, movie watching entertainment is Invincible. So let's just talk about that. Let's just get our thoughts out about that, since I know you guys are all fucking like, we're all jazzed up on it, and so was I, at least until I got to meet the long-running Invincible fans who seem to really want everybody to know about certain scenes. I'll say this for anybody who's just getting into it or watching it or reading it. Do not talk to the old Invincible fans, because they will spoil everything for you the second that you bring up even the smallest thing of certain characters. But what'd you guys think of Invincible?
Well, let's preface this that for the segment, it will be containing spoilers, yes.
I mean, I think that...
You're supposed to back me up on that, my nigga.
I say we should absolutely do spoilers. Like, this is your warning. If you are really looking forward to watching Invincible...
I don't actually want to talk about the spoilers. I want to leave some things, like, because... Well, whatever. So, what you guys...
Nigga, it's 2-1, my nigga. You outnumbered.
I was just gonna say...
This is an island, nigga. We gonna be eating good.
I'm just saying, if you want to watch Invincible right now, just flat out, we're all telling you we liked it. We all enjoyed Season 1. There's going to be more seasons coming out. And, you know, it seems like a lot of other people are really taking into it. So, let's just talk about the Invincible for now. So, let's hear what you guys think.
Think, Hawk and Akuma, think! If we talk about the spoilers, then people will have no reason to watch the beginning of the show.
I mean...
Somebody should just put a bullet in the back of Amber's head, dude.
I still disagree.
Can you explain what the show is? It's a show about a character named Mark.
Mark Grayson.
And he's the son of Superman and
Stop it.
Lucy
No,
Liu.
it's not.
He's the son of Superman.
He's basically
and Lucy
Superman.
Liu.
Like,
no, he was basically Superman until he revealed that he was
Vegeta.
Like,
I can't say how much, like, the more I look at Omni-Man, who is the Superman allegory that Felix was going for, how much I think, like, man, you could have just called him a Saiyan. Like...
Yeah, classic Saiyan.
Like, really, they really could have just made him into a Saiyan, and then you could have just made this into, like, a Dragon Ball Z, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z story, almost, with Gohan and evil Goku. But, yeah, it's about Mark Grayson, who is growing up with his dad being the greatest superhero Earth had ever seen, and, you know, it's all about him growing into these powers, what his dad being a fucking alien super hyper hero, and it's about him growing up. that's really the premise right there, but it's everything that surrounds it that really gets you more interested.
Yeah, like that stupid bitch Amber who needs a fucking bullet to the back of the head.
So Invincible, I feel like, is a better, like, not even like parody, it's a better like take on the whole realistic superhero universe than The Boys is. And that's saying a lot, because I feel like we were pretty hot on The Boys, but I think Invincible executed the whole evil Superman. Pause. Oh, we're pretty hot on The Boys. I think Invincible pulled the whole evil Superman and the whole saving people doesn't always go right and the whole casual violence thing. But it also brought the optimism of like Marvel or DC comics, by the way, not the movies. It brought that type of optimism, because I hate shit that's just like overly cynical, overly like dark, overly fucking violent, and makes you fucking depressed to watch it. And the colors are fucking dark, and the saturation is lower. Like the boys, Invincible is a colorful show, but it has dark
elements, and
moments.
I agree with you on that, because the tone of Invincible is almost, like you said, a more humanoid telling of like what heroes and stuff would be if it was a tad bit more real, as opposed to The Boys, which is a bit of an obvious deconstruction of superheroes and stuff. And it's also, what's the best way to describe it?
It's also like a satire of like modern life, like, oh man, I hate social media, blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah.
I assume that's really just like the current Boys live action retelling, because like the comic for The Boys, like things are entirely different, like just all of it. But that's also slightly true with Invincible. A few things have changed since the Invincible comics, from my understanding. Like,
yeah, there are changes from the comics, because you gotta the comics were like 10, 15 years old, so this retelling of them kind of streamlines stuff, and it also makes characters better. Like Amber is better in this show than she is in the comics.
Nigga, how?
Because she wasn't a character in the comics.
She wasn't a character.
Jeez, bro, that bitch is so unlikable, dude.
I'll say this.
Well,
let's get this out of the way. It's very obvious that Hawk doesn't like her.
Bro, bro.
But I
Omni-Man
have actually
was out here doing that thing, bro. Hitting.
I have actually
been did it to Amber, bro.
I've actually been looking back into it, and I kind of stand by what I felt before. I feel like the hatred for Amber is actually kind of unwarranted.
Get out of here, dog. You tripping.
Because the thing is, like, everybody's getting behind Mark, but they're also forgetting the fact that he was literally, all this stuff that he was supposedly doing, he really could have just actually talked to her. And even when he was going to, the only reason that he even did explain his fucking secret identity to Amber was to get out of a fight. And then even after that, it was proven that there was nothing bad came of it.
You are right. You are right. And if it was only that part of it, yeah, Mark would be in the wrong. But it's the fact that she said, yeah, I know you're invincible and I've known for weeks, that makes it a little bit contrived. It's like, if you've known that he's been invincible for weeks, how about you tell him that you know? How about you be understanding that, oh, he didn't abandon you at the college. He fucking literally had to save you and his friend and his gay friend's boyfriend.
No, I'm not saying that she's like totally not at fault, but I'm saying that she's getting a lot more hate than is warranted.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's not.
It's
I
not
think it's
unwarranted.
2000%
It's just
bro.
overblown at times. I'm not saying she's not wrong to want him to tell her the truth. She's not wrong to think that he's blowing her off or he can't trust her, but she is wrong to have known what he's going through, or at least have an understanding of it, but to still like totally address him as being 100% wrong. Like, yeah, he can't fucking, if you know that he's a superhero, then you know that, oh, if he didn't make it, he might have been busy. He's not just blowing you off for no fucking reason. Like that one episode where he got his guts caved in by the furry. Because she was so mad at that. She was so mad, oh man, Mark said he was going to be here. And then Eve told her, is like, no, some serious shit happened. And she's like, oh, whatever, we're fucking through. And then only takes that back after she finds out he was in the fucking hospital. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that piece of writing is what makes it less nuanced than it should have been.
Well, no, I actually think it is pretty nuanced because the entire point of their relationship is meant to parallel Omni-Man and what's her name, Debbie? Like, because it's meant to be a very obvious parallel between two people who are having this either a long-standing relationship where secrets are being kept, or a short relationship in which these are kept, and so it's like kind of meant to parallel each other.
I just don't think Amber is entitled to be told his secret identity.
Well, no, she's not entitled to know his secret identity, but that's kind of the thing. If you're going to keep secrets like that, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
I disagree, bro. I feel like she failed the test, bro. I think that she failed the test.
I mean, I think
like, would you, like, think about it. Like, if it was, like, a girl that he was finna wife up, yeah, you should probably tell her that he's a superhero, but, like, this is just, like, some high school bitch, dude.
Well, then, again, they shouldn't have been in a relationship.
Yeah, no.
You can't...
That's easy to say in high
It's
school.
like, it's really the fact that in the end, if he really didn't want... If this was such a big deal, then he shouldn't have revealed it the way that he did in order to get it out, in order to use it as a get out of jail free card.
He was emotionally vulnerable at the time.
I don't think that really
He
counts.
got his ass whooped by a fucking 8-foot-tall furry, bro.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he revealed it to her. That was like when they were having an argument.
To talk to him.
And
when they were fighting on the college, he tried to talk to her, but not only was he busy having to try to save his friend's life, she also just didn't want to talk to him at all at that point.
Yes, because
that's what pisses me off, is that
he kept the secret too long. That's what happened.
Too long. She knew that he was invincible. He saved them from the cyborg. She got mad when he came back and said, "You fucking ran away like a coward." And then from that point on, she refused to talk to him until he revealed that he was invincible.
Well,
so
he didn't.
I feel like they were both being...
I honestly don't think it was a refuse to talk to him so much as a you need to actually sit down. Just sit down and say, we need to have a talk.
Bro, every time in that episode, every time he tried to talk to her, she would either fucking shut the door or fucking walk away. Like, I don't understand how he could, without using force, force her to talk to him.
He could have actually, when he walked in on her, just woke her up and say, we need to have a talk. It's very important.
Bro.
Things like that are very simple to do. If you have something that's like a fucking life or death situation, you can actually just do that.
Bro, I didn't get any of this when we was watching it, bro. You a Amber something, nigga.
I just was, like, all of this just comes from me actually looking into it again. Like, I said this before, I think that it comes down to the fact that it's meant to be portrayed as an immature relationship in which both parties weren't prepared for what it would mean to be dating as a superhero. Because Mark liked her before he became a superhero, and then he took on the burden of being a superhero because he wanted to follow in Omni-Man's footsteps. But he wasn't prepared for everything that came along with it. He wasn't like, the entire story is to show that he is not prepared to be a superhero. His entire thing is that he gets his ass kicked. He doesn't know how to juggle time. He doesn't know how to juggle relationships. He doesn't know how to be involved with somebody. He doesn't know how to communicate. Like, that's what this entire thing is shown. And it's also shown that even his father doesn't know how to do that either, despite the fact that he's been around for all this time, and his better half, Debbie, who was trying to be like, hey, you know, I know that you're like a fucking super mega ultimate alien god, but, you know, life, just living regular life ain't that bad. Like, that's the whole point of Debbie, Amber, Mark, and, oh god, I'm forgetting his regular name.
What? Who?
Omni-Man's regular name.
It's Nolan.
Nolan.
You mentioned it before.
Did I? Well, anyway, like I said, this is how I feel just on the whole Amber thing. Then there's also probably the actual best character in the entire thing, which is Omni-Man, who he's such a fucking incredible character.
Absolutely based.
No, he's not based.
Bro, you telling me he ain't based when
he's not based.
When he was out.
Oh no, he is completely he is completely unbased. Like,
he is based in Blue Pill. What are you talking about?
If the definition of based is staying true to your convictions, then he's definitely not based, because he fucking ran away crying because he fucked up.
Yeah, like,
yeah, but he was based for fucking absolutely smashing his fucking hot wife, Asian wife, bro. Come on now.
No, he's
Absolute
not, because
Chad.
he referred to her as a dog.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like,
no.
if you
He
actually hang on,
yes.
no, he did.
No,
he referred to her.
He said she was like a pet.
No, a pet.
Like a pet.
That doesn't
So
matter.
he would smash his pet.
Like, Omni-Man's entire personality.
Hold on. Let me finish, right? Let me finish before you start, right? Okay. Maybe that's just their thing.
This
You know what I'm
podcast
saying?
has been going on for like an hour and 15 minutes, so just wrap it up quickly.
I was just saying, maybe that's just their thing. Maybe, you know, like, this nigga had the fucking leash.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Omni-Man is a real nigga. He out here doing what he gotta do, bro. Doing what he gotta do for his people.
You said the same thing about fucking Homelander, and maybe, you know what? I think Hawk just secretly loves the evil Superman trope, even though he says he hates it.
I do hate the fact that, like, the
I
only
hate
time
it when
Superman's
this is what I hate.
interesting-
I hate when they do it and they like, ooh, America bad, huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do it Homelander.
Oh my god!
I think that
you
shit
such
corny.
A simp.
I'm a simp when this nigga come out here simping for Amber. Get the fuck out. Nah, bro. I'm done, bro.
Simping for
I'm done,
America,
bro.
bro.
Nigga, that's your country,
Always
nigga.
good.
Hoe ass. Always, no. You notice how dark skinned niggas always be saying this shit, but they will never leave.
Oh, America bad.
It's always
America
dark
bad.
skinned, like just the
I hate
darkest skinned niggas who always say the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying?
Completely
It's never
losing
regular
plot.
skinned niggas like me. Never regular skinned niggas like Akuma kind of like. But you know what I'm saying? Like, unbelievable. You ask me, what do you have a problem with the evil Superman? I explain it, and this nigga want to fucking get on me for it, bro.
I didn't say
Shut
you have
your
a problem
bitch
with-
ass up.
Nigga, I said you liked evil Superman. I think you
Nah,
secretly
bro.
like evil Superman.
No,
you see,
I don't.
You so small brain, like you fucking African genes can't comprehend words that
You
smart people
cannot
are
say this
saying.
when you dark as night. You get,
No, I'm
bro.
not.
You not? Okay, bro.
I'm actually not.
All right, bro. Whatever you say, dog. I'm done with you, bro.
I'm
Wrap
glad
this
you
shit up,
ruined the
Akuma.
podcast.
I ruined the
Glad
podcast 'cause you wanted to
Yes,
talk
you
shit?
ruined the podcast. I didn't talk shit. I
Oh
said
my
you secretly like the fucking character.
How did I ruin the podcast? I ruined the podcast because you can't keep your fucking
Yeah,
mouth
you
shut?
ruined the
Okay,
podcast
bro.
'cause
All
you're
right, dog.
All right.
Autistic.
And
You
with
suck
that,
Uncle Sam's cock.
and with that, that's the end of the podcast. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more on Invincible. Take
Fuck
care,
Amber.
people.